Hey guys, so I wanted to come on and talk about my skin really quickly because I've noticed a huge difference and I feel like there's a misconception about some of the products that I'm going to talk about. So I wanted to come on and share, especially within the Black community, these products are game changers. It doesn't work for everyone, but it definitely worked for me. I have combination skin and I also have sensitive skin, so I tend to stick to the same products for years and keep my routine very simple so that my skin doesn't react negatively to how I combine different products together. I'll start with diet really quickly. Usually, like in my day-to-day, I only drink water. I do also like wine and other things, but for the most part, that's what I drink. And obviously that has played a huge role in my skin. Now, not everybody has problem areas on their skin because of their diet, but I knew my diet was trash and so I needed to work on that. The next thing that I changed for my diet was to incorporate more vegan meals into my diet. And I noticed once I reduced the amount of meat and dairy that I was eating and consuming in general, my skin just, it was like night and day. Like you can literally tell when you have a glow that is from your diet. So yeah, that is definitely a huge thing, a huge major change that I made. And then the last thing is to juice. Now, juicing my veggies allowed me to get a lot of the nutrients out of it that I wouldn't get if I blended them. So I like to juice my veggies and then go and blend them with strawberries and bananas because I like how strawberry banana smoothies taste, and I don't have to taste the greens when I blend it together with almond milk, but I like to juice them so that I get the nutrients, the best amount of nutrients out of it. So that's it for diet. Let's jump into the products that I use. I'll start off with exfoliation because I don't know about y'all, but I never used to exfoliate my chest. And now I treat my chest the way that I treat my face. And I actually use the same exfoliator that I use on my face, on my chest. And I just feel like exfoliation has worked wonders for my skin. I also use the same spin brush. A spin brush to me is a must. It was a huge thing a couple of years ago, and now I feel like people have kind of shied away from it. But me personally, if something works for me, I stick to it. That's just me. So I like to go in with a spin brush, and I usually will change out the head. So I use one different head on my face and a different head for the spin brush on my chest. But if I'm lazy, I'll just use the same head. But that's it for exfoliation. I exfoliate every 2 to 3 days, depending on how my skin is reacting. I also like to use black soap. The reason why I feel like black soap has gotten a bad rep is because of two things. One, people are not buying authentic black soap. Like, people will literally go to a beauty supply store and buy black soap and then complain that it's not working. Like, this is not raw African black soap most times. And black soap is not supposed to be black in color as well. This is actually something I just learned. It's supposed to be brown. So you want to make sure that you're looking for these things and buying from a reputable seller. And I'll link the company that I shop with down below. But yeah, make sure that you're paying attention to that for black soap. I also never apply my black soap directly to my face or my chest or my back or anywhere. I always wet my hands and then go in and like massage into my skin. And I actually let it sit on my skin for a solid hour. I got this from my cousins who were born and raised in Africa, Sierra Leone, Africa, and they were forced to do this as kids, and their skin is flawless. So of course I'm gonna listen to them, okay? But yeah, I like to let it sit on my skin, and I don't do this overnight at all. It would dry out your skin way too much. But if you have not had a negative reaction to authentic black soap, I would recommend just letting it sit for a couple of minutes, maybe 15 minutes, like you would a mask, and let it really do its thing. And then I like to go in with a washcloth and just wipe it off. So that's it for black soap. I also like to use witch hazel. There is this thing going on YouTube, I feel like, where people kind of like warn you against witch hazel, but I feel like people ignore the part of the message that says, hey, if it's working for you, stick to it. I'm a solid believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't use witch hazel every single day, but this has worked wonders on my skin, and it's going to be a staple in my routine for the rest of my days. Like, I'm not going to give up this witch hazel. When I use witch hazel is an astringent, right? So it literally helps so much with textured skin. So anytime I have a problem with like rashes or like little bumps, which I tend to get on my chest, I haven't gotten any in a while, I will go in with the witch hazel, and within a couple of days that is solved. When I was using this when I was younger, actually my skin was like so clear. I had no problems on my skin whatsoever, and witch hazel was really the only thing I would use besides water when I was back in the Caribbean. So I know for a fact that witch hazel works. It's worked for me for years, and I definitely would recommend it if you have not had a negative reaction to it. The next thing, I think this is the second to last thing, is tea tree oil and lemon essential oil mixed with olive oil. I like to mix these three together, but I'm actually gonna switch out the olive oil with almond oil. But yeah, these three are a game changer for me. You want to mix essential oils, which is what tea tree oil and lemon oil are. You want to mix them with a carrier oil like jojoba oil, olive oil, almond oil, just because they're really strong on their own. But if I have a problem area, say I have a pimple, I like to go in with the tea tree oil directly on it, and I never have pimples that last me more than a day now, because once I go in and I put that on that spot, it will suck out everything, and literally overnight that pimple is like reduced to a small little bump and then gone within a couple of days. I use it raw on my skin sometimes, but I would not recommend that you do this if you go out in the sun and you don't like wearing sunscreen, because if you are applying it raw to your skin, you need to be protecting your skin from the sun. And that's why people warn against it and say, hey, don't use this unless you mix it with a carrier oil. That's really the only danger that I've seen on the internet when I was doing my research. If you're using sunscreen, then you should be fine using it raw on your skin, but I definitely would recommend doing it with a carrier oil anyways. But when I really just am like over something on my skin and I want to just get it gone, I just go in with the raw thing. Tea tree oil is really good, like I said, at sucking out everything, and then lemon essential oil, and then lemon essential oil is good at lightening spots. So in combination, these two are life-changing. And the reason, like, if you remember anything from this video, just remember that, because honestly, I have been using that concoction on my skin for the past week, and I can already see the spots lightening. So I don't expect to see this in 8 weeks. I will come back on and update, so make sure you're subscribed if you want to, have your skincare journey and follow along with me. Subscribe and make sure you don't miss an upload. But yeah, I expect this to be completely faded within the next 8 weeks because of how much of a difference I've already seen. So yeah, definitely recommend this oil. And then the last thing, let me get it. The last thing that I would recommend, if you grew up in a Caribbean or African household, then you already know about this. It's basically SUDOCREAM, and this is a game changer. If you have, it's an antiseptic healing cream, and it's good for if you have like a nappy rash, eczema, surface wounds, acne, sunburn, etc. And I actually saw Nikki talking about this in a past vlog of hers. She has flawless skin. She's one of the most flawless people I've ever seen. If you don't know her here on YouTube, Nikki Thought, I definitely recommend you check out her channel. But she was actually talking about this for getting rid of her stretch marks when she had one of her kids. It's just good for like every single problem you have for your skin, so I definitely recommend this. It really is the only thing that helps me with my textured skin. When I put this on overnight, it has such an impact to the point where when I wake up the next day, my skin just looks so much more even, and it's just amazing. So this is like a staple for me. This and my tea tree and lemon oil, I will never go without. And also my witch hazel. So yeah, that's pretty much it for all of my products. Now, this is not for everyone. This is what worked for me. And if you haven't had any negative reactions to any of the products that I mentioned, then I definitely recommend that you try it out, because honestly, like, nobody knows your skin better than you. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to jot them down below. All of the products that I mentioned will be listed in the description box. And yeah, that's it. I will have some more videos coming on like my skin and like updating my channel with like my skincare journey. So again, make sure you're subscribed, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.